What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I find it a little bit ironic that in the up next section it says Shahin Najafi, period, featuring Mohsen Namju. But this video that I'm gonna react to, the song that the feature in this video is Shahin Najafi, Naghi. I have the English translation, but it's in the description, so I'm gonna scroll down once I start it, and I'm gonna read along to the lyrics. But Shahin Najafi, he is definitely an interesting character. He seems to be a mischievous type of, almost Machiavellian. I don't know about Machiavellian, but he seems to be somewhat of a provocateur. He revels in provocation. Just look at the entirety of that song, period. And look at the look at the album art. Look at the album cover for this. Okay. Let's start the music. Let's have a listen. Yeah, he's certainly, he's got the LGBTQ flag on top. He is certainly not afraid of offending people, which is an interesting stance. There's a lot of artists that have done these type of things throughout history. To make sort of a crude allusion, a crude comparison, I could think of Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP, where Eminem was basically saying some things that he knew. See, he was very conscious of the offense that he was giving, and he did these things on purpose to offend people, knowing that they were going to try to ban his music, try to, censor his songs, have his CDs banned, have the art banned, which there's a phenomena which happens when, people try to ban music. I mean, at least in a society where it's able to find ears, where it's the Barbra Streisand effect. Where when you try to ban something, you try to quietly go about, burying something, it actually just gives it a publicity boost and it becomes more popular than it otherwise would have been, specifically when the artist doesn't really have much merit. I'm not going to say that Najafi doesn't have merit. I think he is a talented musician. But he certainly likes to push buttons artistically, and you can tell by the album art here. And I am 100% for freedom of expression. I think in a free society you need to have freedom of expression. I don't get political. I never mention politics on the channel, but yeah, that's I'm certainly for an egalitarian free society where you can, men and women are equal under the law, regardless of your race, creed, gender, sexuality. Yeah. That's freedom's about, baby. All right, let's listen to this. Shahin Najafi. Let's go. Oh my God. What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say this time? Ooh. Well, like funk element to this. Hear that guitar lick.
نقی تو رو قسم به شوخ تبعید به این بیرون از گوده تو تبعید به آلت بزرگ زندگانی.
Okay, I swear on your sense of humor, on this exile who thinks he's here to criticize, on the large that gives us life.
پشت ما نشسته رو به تهدید نقی تو رو به طول و عرض تحریم دلار رو به رشد و حس تحقیق نقی تو رو به امام مقوایی به طفل علی گوی توی رحمگی به درس فقه تو اتاق عمل بینی به آقا و تسبیح و جام نماز چینی نقی تو رو به انگشت شیس رضایی به دینی که اوت شده و فوتبال دینی آی نقی حالا که مهدی خواب ما تو رو صدا میزنیم آی نقی تو زور کن که ما آماده تو کفنیم آی نقی حالا که
So he's obviously being critical, and I think all of his music is critical of certain institutions, but you see him mentioning Khomeini, Western imposed sanctions on the baby Khomeini, so I'm sure he's much hated. I don't know where Najafi lives. It might be in Canada, I'm not sure. Somebody said Toronto, but I'm not sure.
نقی تو رو قسم به عشق و ویاگرا تو رو به لنگای هوا شده و چاکرا تو رو به سنگک و مرغ و گوشت و ماهی سینه ی سیلیکونی و به کارت راه را نقی تو رو به ممه های گل شیفته به آبروی نداشتی که از ما ریخته نقی تو رو به نژاد آریایی به پلاکی که به گردن آویخته نقی جون من تو رو به ششول فرنود 3000 میلیارد زیر گنبد کبود خلیج فارس و ارومیه هم قصه بود راستی اسم رهبر جنبش سبز چی بود ای نقی حالا که مهدی خواب ما تو رو صدا میزنیم آی نقی تو زور کن که ما آماده تو کفنیم آی نقی حالا که مهدی خواب ما تو رو صدا میزنیم آی نقی تو زور کن که ما آماده تو کفنیم آی نقی 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 به رحلت جنگوز امام امت به سیاسیون فسیلی تو غربت به بیوه های با کلاس پلاس دیسکو به بحثای روشن فکری تو چه غیرت مردای اون کاره به زنان مدافع حقوق مرد به انقلاب رنگی از تلویزیون به 3% جمعیت کتاب خون تو رو به شعرهای آبکی و تو خالی نقی تو رو به این جماعت حالی به حالی صبح زنده باد میگن و شب مرده باد به قهرمونای قصه های خیالی ای نقی حالا که مهدی خواب ما تو رو صدا میزنیم آی نقی تو زور کن که ما آماده تو کفنیم آی نقی حالا که مهدی خواب ما تو رو صدا میزنیم آی نقی تو زور کن که ما آماده تو کفنیم آی نقی 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 وای نقی.
So he's even laughing at the end of the song. So there's a certain comedic aspect to this. It's satirical. It's obviously a criticism, but there's definitively a certain absurdity to the lyrics. Here we go. We have the lyrics and contextual notes. So let's go through it. Naghi, and what is that? Like, what does that mean? Ali al-Hadi, also known as Ali an-Naghi, was the 10th of the 12 Imams of the Shia Islam. According to the Shia tradition, Imam Naghi was the grandfather of the hidden Imam. See note 10 for more information on this. The hidden Imam, also known as the 12th Imam or Mahdi, is a central figure of Islamic eschatology and is the equivalent of the second coming of Christ in Christian eschatology. According to the Shia narrative, the hidden Imam was born in 1869 CE and went into occultation in 1874 at only 5 years of age, when he assumed the imamate. When he returns, it is believed that he will bring justice and peace by establishing Islam throughout the world. Okay, so that's Naghi. I swear on your sense of humor, on this exile who thinks he's here to criticize. Citation number 2. There is an Iranian phrase, lengesh kon, which is used to label armchair criticism. Okay? The phrase essentially means, come on, bring him down already. And the expression has its roots in wrestling. It refers to a specific move where a wrestler grabs the opponent's thigh to drop him to the floor. The phrase that Najafi uses in the original is burun Azgaud, which literally means outside the wrestling ring / arena, typically found in houses of strength, traditional Persian gymnasiums, and is a metaphorical reference to members of the Iranian diaspora who criticize Iranians living inside Iran for not persisting in the protests against their government. With this remark, Najafi is casting a spotlight on Iranian armchair critics and is calling them out of their cowardice. The Encyclopedia Iranica has an in-depth article. So I guess he's making an allusion to people that are critical of something but don't wish to get their hands dirty and jump into the fray. On the large penis that gives life, that sits behind us and threatens us. I swear on the length and width of Western imposed sanctions, on the rising value of the dollar and the feeling of humiliation. Citation number 3. Inside Iran, the value of the dollar has appreciated at a phenomenal rate while their own currency has plummeted to the verge of worthlessness. So he's talking about the American dollar. Indeed, many Iranians talk about how when it comes to luxury items, high-class cars, the vendors will only accept payment in the form of dollars and will refuse to transact using Iranian currency on account of its spiraling depreciation. Naghi, I swear on the cardboard Imam Khomeini, number 4. This is a reference to the celebration of the 33rd anniversary of Khomeini's arrival in Iran, which signaled an end to 2,500 years of Persian monarchy and the inauguration of a theocratic government. On this particular anniversary, the Iranian government sponsored a reenactment of the historic moment where Khomeini disembarked from an Air France plane and arrived in Tehran. The star of this reenactment was a cardboard cutout of Khomeini. The event was ridiculed and mocked. David Goodman wrote a piece covering the reenactment in reaction towards it on the New York Times. So this is a really comprehensive, contextual accompaniment to the art. So I kind of appreciate it, actually. It definitely adds some context. It leads me somewhat out of the dark. On the baby Khomeini who was saying Ali while stuck in his mother's womb. Citation 5. This is a reference to a remark made by the Friday prayer leader of Qom, Ayatollah Muhammad Saidi, last year, where after recounting an historical Shia narrative, he claims that Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, came out of his mother's womb saying, Ya Ali. Oh, Ali. Ali was the cousin and son-in-law of Muhammad, and Shia Muslims consider him to be the first of the 12 Imams and rightful successor to Muhammad. The video of Ayatollah Saidi's sermon can be viewed online here. On the teaching of jurisprudence in the room where nose jobs are given. Citation 6. This is a quip about the ubiquity of nose jobs in Iran. In fact, many people say that Iran leads the world in nose jobs per capita. My take on this verse is that Najafi is juxtaposing the phenomenon of nose jobs in Iran, which women get so frequently because they're forced to cover everything else, and the nose thus remains their most prominent feature, with the cleric's desire to instill religious faith and fervor through jurisprudence classes. I think Najafi is ultimately trying to say that Iranian youth don't care about Islamic jurisprudence and are instead more concerned with perfecting the parts of their bodies which government-imposed religion has, for now, left untouched. Essentially, it's a message of rebellion against force-fed religion. On Khomeini, the prayer beads and prayer rugs made in China. Citation 7. This remark underscores the fact that Iran is importing a huge amount of their commodity. Okay, I got that one. They're importing much of their commodities from China. Naghi, I swear on the finger of Shaiz Rezai. Citation 8. Shaiz Rezai is an Iranian soccer player who was banned from the Persepolis team for slapping the buttocks of his teammate, Persepolis defender Mohammad Nazrati, and fingering his... Okay. Right. On the religion that has been kicked out and religious soccer, okay. O Naghi, now that the hidden Imam is asleep, we call upon you, O Naghi. Appear, for we are ready in our burial shrouds, O Naghi. O Naghi, now that the hidden Imam is asleep, we call upon you, O Naghi. Appear, we are ready in our burial shrouds, O Naghi. Naghi, I swear on love and Viagra, on raised legs and chakras, on sangak, bread and chicken and meat and fish. Citation 12. Nane sangak is an Iranian kind of whole wheat sourdough flatbread that is baked in an oven on a bed of hot, tiny river stones. The word sangak means little stone or pebble, and these cling to the bread due to the nature of the baking process. This is a picture of sangak bread. Right. Okay. On silicone chests and striped virginity. 13. I'm not entirely sure what Najafi means here by striped virginity, but I have two theories. First theory pertains to the belief that exists among ultra-conservative Iranians, which states that a woman will go to heaven if she dies a virgin. Okay. Naghi, I swear on... Okay, so I'm not going to go through the rest of the citations because it's a long read, but I will read through these on my own. I don't want to bore you guys with it. You can let me know in the comments if you enjoy these type of videos where I really go in depth, at least in my own mind, to try and learn a little bit of something. Because my channel is certainly not about the quick fix of a reaction. We just got a notification on Facebook of some kind. Anyways, we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, peace out, everybody.